Bills fans, I'm not even going to attempt to lie to you. I'm not going to tell you a white lie. I'm not going to tell you a partial lie. The truth is, this was likely the worst season y'all will have in the last 5 years.
Shut up, the Bills!
Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. For me, now listen, everyone play their position. Buffalo got a tradition. They say we tripping, they better get out our way. Top of the table, we flipping, we on a mission. Got an unstoppable team, continue to follow your dream by any means. Buffalo, get in the Super Bowl ring. Cause we the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we the Buffalo Bills. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Reppin' the mafia, yeah. Reppin' the mafia Bills, yeah. You better know that. Look how we throwing and catching, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. You better know that. Look how we running and hitting, cause we are unstoppable, yeah. Mafia up in your city, time to get gritty. Screaming and yelling, we bugging. Look at the red and blue.
This is an MVP year for Josh Allen. As an MVP voter, I said this last week. Josh Allen, he looks like an MVP. When you vote for MVP, and I can speak for myself, I think I'm one of 50 voters, you look at a couple things. Who's the best team in football? Who's the best player on that team in football? What do they look like as the best player on that team in football? And how much talent is around that best player on that best team in football?
Cause we done Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we done Buffalo. Welcome back to another episode of Coast to Coast. It is just me today, Little 2K. I'm by myself. Be honest, I'm not gonna be able to make it. But this is gonna be a quick show, man. The NBA draft is on right now, so I'm like doing a little double duty, watching see who the Celtics pick up, see who some of these other guys are that got picked up. So far, so good with the Celtics draft. I'm happy. We got bigger, we got a little stronger, a little more athletic. So can't complain about that. But just wanted to talk a little bit today about the upcoming season, and we're at the halfway point in Josh Allen's career. But Josh Allen's not the only quarterback or player, and that's at that point of their career. So we'll talk a little bit about a few of these guys, and talk about some expectations, what we would like to see happen, or really what I would like to see happen, and what some feel free to join if you're in the comments. If you're watching, definitely chime in. A really interesting, I don't want to say really interesting, like make it seem like it's a big deal, but it was a pretty good conversation on who would you be okay with watching win the Super Bowl if it's not your team. And obviously there's some division scenarios and things like that are gonna determine where some of us are gonna stand when it comes to that. So first off, let me just say this. I don't want to see anybody in the division win a Super Bowl. So Dolphins, Jets, Patriots. I was rooting so hard for the Seattle Seahawks, man. And it was good that they won as a Bills fan. It was good that they won. But like the way that they won, the way that they just made, like Drake made, look really, really mediocre and pedestrian. and just really looked bad. Like that was, honestly, that felt good. It felt good to watch that. I don't think that the Bills played obviously didn't play their best last year. Josh Allen certainly didn't. And just watching that game, it made me feel like, man, we would have been better. Like it would have been a better game if we were there. But hats off to them for getting there. I just hope they never win another one until we win a couple. You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, man, Josh is 30. Joe Burrow's like 30. Lamar's 29. He'll turn 30 at the end of the year or whatever, like at some point in the, before next season starts, Lamar Jackson will be 30. Justin Herbert's still young, but he's been in the league for a minute now. He, got in the NFL in 2020. But then there are other guys like Bradley Chubb and Baker Mayfield that don't get mentioned in the same, breath or conversation as the other quarterbacks that I just mentioned. And, those guys don't have a Super Bowl either. Baker Mayfield's out there with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I personally like Baker. I like Baker as a quarterback. I think Baker is really, really tough. I think he elevates his own game and then in turn elevates the players around him. I think he's a huge competitor. I like Baker. Like if Josh didn't work out and we had an opportunity to get Baker, I would have been mad. But Baker went number 1 that year, so whatever. But yeah, man, I'm just like, I don't want to see these guys all retire and not have at least a Super Bowl, like at least one, right? Clearly, Bills fan, I want Josh to get one first. But yeah, I don't mind the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow's a great quarterback. I think the edge that the Bengals play with or have played with over the years, I like it. I like the way that they, I like some of the ways that they carry themselves. I think they're very, when they're good, they'll let you know about it. And even when they're bad, like they've been, they haven't been great over the last few years, they never stop playing. They never stop competing. They're going to put up 35 on you and you got to outscore that. So, I'm not like totally oblivious to them or totally like anti-Bengal. They were annoying for a little bit in 2022 and 2021. They were pretty annoying, but I think the last couple of years kind of humbled them a bit, and they're a little easier to deal with at this point. But yeah, man, I would not be Malik Brown. Spurs, another shot blocker. I'm telling you, man, these teams. Side note: these teams in the NBA that they are attacking their weaknesses in this draft. I gotta give the teams that were competing last year in the playoffs or this past season. They are definitely attacking their needs. Like, shout out to them. That's a good pickup by the Spurs. They got a center out of forward out of Duke. Anyway, yeah, the Bengals kind of got humbled over the last couple of years, but they got Dexter Lawrence back. They got Dexter Lawrence now, so you're starting to hear them chirp a little bit more, which is probably good because I think the NFL is better when these great quarterbacks have good teams, and you're going to see them in the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. I love that. Even with Baker, like Baker is, like I said, down there in Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay, I like the roster. I mean, if the Tampa Bay can stay healthy, they really could compete with just about anybody. And if they are able to stay healthy, I expect them to compete. I expect Baker to take them on a nice little run. That's a team that could win the Super Bowl with the roster that they have. Like, I don't listen. If people are telling you that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not a Super Bowl threat or a contender, they don't know what they're talking about. They have enough pieces on that offensive line when they're healthy to give Baker an opportunity to make plays. I like their receiving group, even though they don't have Mike Evans. Their running back room is solid. Sean Tucker, Bucky Irving, tight end Kate Otten. Like, I think he's solid. And defensively, they're pretty tight. I like what they did. They drafted a linebacker. They're solid up front on the defensive line. Kalijah Cansey, Vita Vea, Diaby, Ruben Bain. They just drafted him. And in the secondary, you have Winfield Jr. back there with the corners. Morrison is there. Zion McCullum and Parrish. Like, they've got guys that I think they're good players. I'd like to see them do well as well. And then I'm glad Bradley Chubb is on the Bills, because if the Bills do, let's say the Bills do win the Super Bowl, Bradley Chubb finally gets you kill two birds with one stone right there. You get Chubb and Josh. Super Bowls, Dion, all of that, like that'd be great. Knock those guys out, get them Super Bowls, and we'll move forward. Obviously, as a Bills fan, that's what I want. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Just one. Just give me one, bro. Like, I'd be happy with just one at this point. But the other team, the other quarterback we just talked about was Lamar Jackson, the Ravens. Now, let me be clear. I think the Ravens have the most annoying fan base in professional football. Maybe not professional sports, but it's close. Like, they're close. But you can't deny, man. Like, Lamar's a great player. They got Derrick Henry. They got Trey Hendrickson now. It's like all of the guys that were good on Madden 2023 are like playing for the Ravens now. Like, all of those guys that were older, they're good now. They're playing for the Ravens. Little questions, some questions on that offensive line, but and wide receivers. I mean, new head coach, first year head coach, first year offensive coordinator. Never was in that role before, so there's certain things. Defensive coordinators new as well, so I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm sure Mentor's going to call the plays, but yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at with them, man. I would like to see Lamar get one, but like, if I could choose who's the last quarterback out of the 2018 draft to get one, it'd be Lamar Jackson. And not because like I don't like Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar. It's the fan base, bro. Like, 100%. Ravens fan base is super annoying, but somebody brought that question up, like, who, if your team can't win, who would you be okay with seeing win the Super Bowl? And I would be okay if Tampa Bay won. Baker was able to raise the Lombardi. I'm good with that. Somebody just pay attention to the okay. My bad, folks. I messed something. Okay. Yeah, I'd be cool with that. I'd definitely be all right with that. Like, if the Bills get eliminated and the Bengals are still there, I'm not going to do it publicly, but I'll cheer for the Bengals. I wish them good luck. Let them get one. You know, they don't have one yet. Detroit's another team that doesn't have a Super Bowl yet. I wouldn't mind seeing them get a Super Bowl. Minnesota's another team. The Cardinals don't have one. The Panthers don't have one. Chargers. If the Chargers going to run, that'd be great. That'd be great for them, you know. But Josh has got to get his first, man, right? Got to get his first. In other news, Osiris Torrance and the Buffalo Bills have expressed interest in a contract extension. And I know, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Yeah, I know we've been a little shaky over the last couple of weeks. You know, either Beyond has something going on or I'm at work. It's been kind of shaky trying to consistently get with you guys on Wednesdays over the last few weeks. But yeah, man, thanks for popping in, brother. It's always good to hear from you. And so yeah, Torrance and the Bills are, you know, talking extension. I don't like it. I don't like it because I think with the way the salaries are set up, man, you got to cut from somewhere in order to continue to spend. In areas of concern, wide receiver has been an area of concern. We spend a good amount of money on the wide receiver room, and it's just not. It hasn't performed to the level of the investment. So what does that mean? What do we need to do? Well, we probably need to invest a little bit better and probably need to change where we're investing. What's up, dog? How you doing, bro? But I'm here with you, bro. Yeah, I see you, man. So with that being said, I like Osiris Torrance. I think he's a solid offensive lineman and solid interior offensive lineman. I think if Osiris Torrance is extended, I think that's a good thing for continuity purposes. And I think it's a step in the direction of putting more focus on the offense than the defense, which is a change because we've consistently tried to fix the defense year in and year out. And, you know, I guess they're taking a more measured approach with the team, a more balanced approach, I should say. So you go out and you re-sign Torrance. Hopefully it's at a palatable number, you know, $14-15 million would be like the max. But there are guards out there, man. They're offensive guards that are getting like, you know, 18. I think Robert Jones or Robert John, whatever his name is, he got like $20 million from the Panthers to play guard for them. So, you know, I don't want to spend that type of money on Torrance. I think the way the Bills are set up right now, you could use a day 2 or an early day 3 pick in the next upcoming draft and draft his replacement. I don't know that, you know, one of these guys that is currently listed as a tackle can't kick inside and play, you know, right guard. I don't know that they don't move Alec Anderson to right guard and kick Dion inside and put one of these young guys at tackle. I don't know. There are a ton of things that you could probably do. What makes the most sense, though, I don't know. How about a lower cap hit but more guaranteed like Cook? Yeah, but then that kind of that locks you into like, is that a Nick? Oh, the Knicks got a shooter. They got a shooter. They actually need one too. Yeah. Wow. Solid pick. He probably can't play any defense though. Yeah, no. Not a defender. No, but with the offensive lineman, I mean, I just don't want to be cash strapped because let's say like we were talking about this earlier today. What if Max Crosby in the first 5 games of the season has, 7.5 sacks, looks healthy, you know, really, really looks like, he's fine and he's got, a couple good seasons in him. What happens if the Raiders say, hey, look, Max is still for sale and the Bills could use Max Crosby. Like, let's improve the pass rush even more. Let's improve the defensive line. Let's go get Max Crosby. Can't do it if you don't have the bread for it, man. And I want to be able to kind of get out of this dead cap, bargain bin, free agent type deals that we've been having to do. I'd like to actually be able to go out and Brandon Bean can go out and get like a make a big splash, man. Go get a guy who's not 34 like Vaughn was. Get a younger guy that's got a couple more years of elite level productivity, and go get him. I also like to be. I would also like to be a major player in free agency when elite guys come available. Let's be able to go in there and be able to go and get a guy, man. Just go get a guy. Go get the guy. You know what I'm saying? So, it's kind of where I'm at with that. I think Torrance is a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's not a perfect player, but he's a good player. But you got to cut costs somewhere. We're not doing it at receiver. We're not doing it at quarterback. We're definitely not doing it at tackle. And the defense, is still going to require some help. We spent a good amount of money out there. It is what it is. Another pick. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, Virginia. Okay, I do know what that is. Saw this kid before. Okay. Whatever. Dallas Mavericks not going to be that good this year coming up anyway. Well, they might. They will be healthy. That kid is athletic too. They got a couple of athletic wings they just drafted over there. I mean, that's gonna be fun with Cooper Flag and Kyrie Irving. That is gonna be a fun team next year. They're gonna defend, they're gonna rebound, and they are going to run. So Kyrie can stay healthy. They might give teams some issues with their length and athleticism now. So that could be a fun team to watch. Anyway, talking about Osiris Torrance and the offensive line, I believe the offensive line. I think we do a good job of drafting guys for the O line. I would, before giving him an extension, I would really consider what the next draft class looks like. Who's going to be available? What other needs do we have? Or if you sign him, are you saying that that's a need that we're not going to address through the draft, and we're going to utilize draft capital to move up and go get like an elite level playmaker to play with Josh? Like, we're going to go up and get one of the top 5 wide receivers this year. If you're saying that, I can dig that. Like, I'm with that. That makes sense. But so let's get back to the other conversation. Now, Dog, Mike, you guys are in here. I know for sure. Shout out to the rest of the people that are watching. Listen, you guys tell me, what team do you not want to see win a Super Bowl? Obviously, the division guys, like, I get that. And I mean, the Jets, we don't have to worry about that anyway. They stink. But what other teams do you wish to not see win? Like, for me, it's the Ravens. I just think the Raven fan base is really annoying. And if Lamar gets a Super Bowl before Josh Allen, there is no way anybody will be able to tell a Ravens fan that Lamar is not better than Josh Allen. I mean, people believe that now. Like, people think Lamar is better than Josh, despite the playoff numbers, the touchdowns, the the rosters that Josh has had versus what Lamar has had. I mean, people still believe that Lamar is a better player. Crazy, but yeah. All right. Okay. So what we got so far? We got 2 for the Chiefs. 2 for the Chiefs. I can't take another Chiefs Super Bowl. Yeah, the Chiefs were annoying when they were winning, bro. Like, they were really, really annoying. It just seemed like every Chiefs fan, some of them I like, some of you I mess with, but bro, it was just like the randomest Chiefs fans talking like they knew what they were talking about, just saying random stuff. It was weird. I was about to say the Ravens, but I would say the Bucks or the Rams. Really, I don't really have any animosity to the Rams. I probably should, but I really don't, man. And the Bucks, man, I like the Bucks. Like, I mean, I'm not a 2-team guy or anything, but the Bucks could be great. The worst thing you could do is straighten your weaknesses and worsen your. Okay, I get what you're saying. O-line is the reason Josh and Cook can be great, in my opinion. We've seen the big game. Actually, Albert, I get what you're saying. I kind of disagree. We got to the AFC Championship with Darrell Williams and John Feliciano on the offensive line. Like, that offensive line was not good, bro. I think Spencer Brown, no, that was 2020, so we didn't even have – like, Spencer Brown wasn't even on the team yet. It was – Yeah, I get that, Mark. What was I about to say? It was who was on that line? It was trying to think, like, tackles. I think Spencer Brown was on that line. 2020, guys, 2020. Was Spencer Brown on the bubble team? I don't think he was. Why am I saying bubble? It's not a bubble team. The bubble was the NBA. All right, 2020 starting tackle. I think the starting tackle was Darrell Williams. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let me get to the depth chart. Rosters. There we go. All right. Offensive starters. Yeah. This was the starting offensive line in 2020. Right. Spencer got drafted after this season. I think he came in and his first season was the 2021 season. This is the starting offensive line. Deion Dawkins, Ike Botker, Mitch Morse, dog, Brian Winters, and Darrell Williams. We got to the AFC Championship game with those guys. Starting running back was Devin Singletary. John Brown, Gabe Davis, Stephon Diggs, and our guy Cole Beasley. They were all on the team. The offense was fine. Like, the offense was good, but I mean, like, the O-line was not good. It wasn't. You had three guys on that offensive line are no longer in the NFL, and they're all like right around the same age as Deion Dawkins, and they haven't been in the NFL for years now. So they're not good. They weren't great players. They were, below average guys, and we were able to get to the AFC Championship game with that team. So I do understand what you're saying. Yeah, bro. Brian Winters, man. Gosh. and Ike Bodker. Those are the starters at guard. So I get what you're saying. The offensive line 100% is a strength. But if the Bills go into next draft and they move up to get a receiver and they use a second round pick to do it, and then they take their third round pick, or if they use their first and their third and another first in the future or whatever, and they move up, do we then use a second round pick on an interior offensive lineman to replace him? That's a rookie contract. You want Crosby. Does that not just hinder our first pick, TJ? No. No. It's a rotation, brother. And I want as many good players on the field as possible. Listen, there are guys that can move around. Like, if we get Max, who's to say Max won't, kick inside for, at defensive end? Who's to say that Max won't want to stand up and then you can move Rousseau in? Who's to say that we are married to being on the odd front, all the time? Maybe we get a Max Crosby and decide to save him and say, listen, we're going to use you sparingly throughout the regular season. And then when the playoffs get around here, it's time to kick to overdrive. And you know what, Albert? You're right. We may not even need him. We may get into this season, and after the first 3 weeks, we may have 12 sacks. Or, we may have 9 sacks in the first 3 games. And we're getting after the quarterback, and that scheme is operating at a high level. I don't know. But I really want to make sure the opportunity is there. If we need to make a move, let's make a move. Let's have the freedom to make that move. Linebacker. We need a linebacker, man. We could use a linebacker. So what happens if a linebacker becomes available? Jordan Brooks, Miami, all-pro. Miami decides to tank and says, listen, man, we want to trade him. Nobody is willing to give us a third-round pick for him. Buffalo, if you want to give us a third, you'll get him, but you gotta pay him. I want to be able to do that. I'd like to have Jordan Brooks next to Terrell Bernard, or maybe Caleb Elam's, maybe we trade for Jordan Brooks and then we move off of Bernard in the offseason. Move Bernard for a fourth. We use the third to get him, move off him for a fourth, get rid of that cap, get rid of that number. Why not? What's wrong with that? We should be able to do that, right? So I'm just saying, man. That's how I'm looking at it, bro. Why is this up here twice? It says I'm live twice. It's mad weird. Anyway. So yeah, that's where I'm at, man. Use that right. You want Crosby? Does that not hinder our first round? Use that rookie contract at a premium price position. Look, that works only if dude is a dog. Like if he's good, then it makes sense. But there's no guarantee TJ Parker. There's no guarantee TJ Parker is going to be good at this level. I think he will. Based on what I looked at, I think he's going to be fine. But we got to make sure. We got to see it on the field first. Can't just be crowning these guys, man. Let's have another conversation. Let's talk contenders in the AFC. Because that's where we are, right? Obviously, the Bills. Obviously, the Ravens. We just gonna be honest. The Patriots, they're still gonna be contenders. The Texans with that great defense. I still like the Jags as a team. I think the Chargers are legit. I think they have a legit coach. I think they've got legit talent on both sides of the ball. If they're healthy, I think that's a good team. Um, the Chiefs, should bounce back and be healthy this year. But how do we feel? I mean, I like the Bengals as contenders. How do we feel about them? Does anybody give them a shot? Defense has been dog water, 2 years. Straight up dog water. We giving them a shot? I am. F. No, but listen, man. I mean, that's like the Bengals. The Bengals may be players this year. They may be a team vying for, the AFC. I don't know, man. I agree, but with older James Cook and Allen, I want the game to be easier and I put more on their table. Yeah, you know what, Albert? That's true. But the way you do that is by going to get another like elite level receiver. Don't get me wrong, I like DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is 29. He's, or no, actually, I think he's 30. He's 29 or 30. But either way, he's getting up there. And after him, Keon's young, Shakir's young, Skylar Bell's young, Shavers is youngish. Palmer's young. Believe it or not, he's like 26. And I mean, if we draft another guy, especially if we go up and get one, let's say we draft one of these, top, one of the top 5 to 7 wide receivers in next year's draft. Then what? Got DJ Moore, man. Just go get younger guys that, are going to make the game easier. They're not, they're competing to get open. They're trying to, earn that next contract. All of that. Like, those are the guys you want to go get. That makes the game easier. Go solidify that defense on every level. We talk about the 2023 season with the Ravens. That was a top 5 team of all time, according to DVOA. Top 5. Offense, defense, they're one of the best teams in the history of the game. They never won. Let's make the game easy like that. Can we do that? Can we get Josh Allen and the offense more offensive possessions by getting off the field on third down? Let's force teams to punt. What's wrong with that? Get teams out the way, man. Give Josh an opportunity to put up 40 points. That's where I'm at. But anyway, we talk Bengals. I mean, I don't know how you guys in the chat feel. I think the Bengals are legit. I think they're legit. Offensively, you know what they can do. You know what type of time they on. Facts, 4th and 17. Bro, listen, the most disheartening thing this is one of the most disheartening things. Week 1 last year, Ravens game. It's 3rd and 18. We are down 15 points. And I'm like, all right, cool. We're about to get the ball back. No way they're going to get a 3rd and 18, right? We have 4 chances to get Lamar Jackson in the backfield. 4 opportunities at the sack. He dodged all of them and turned it into like a 24-yard game. And then the following play after that, Derrick Henry to the house. Bro, are you good? It's stuff like that. Like, let's eliminate that. That's the stuff that keeps us out of the Super Bowl. Those are the things that need to change. Don't get me wrong. I love having an offensive line that allows the running back to get to the second level before contact. Sure. Like, I love all of that. But I really love when we used to get off the field on third down, right? I really love that. Like the first 8 weeks of the season in 2022 when Von Miller was lined up on the on the other side, the 4th and 17 in KC. Yeah. Bro, and what was that? What didn't he like chuck the ball downfield to Travis Kelce? He was just like sitting there wide open in the middle of the field. Like, bro, it's 4th and 17. How is Kelce uncovered? I'd rather you talking about, it was multiple times then because I remember it was Rice. Well, I know there was another time where it was Kelce sitting there wide open. I mean, it's so many Chiefs games at this point over the last like 5. We play these guys like they're in the division with us, man. We play them like twice a year every year, so it's all just kind of meshed together. But what was let me see, there was a comment I wanted to get to. Do you think we keep the same run pass ratio this year and maybe just different types of passes, or do you expect an uptick in passing rate? It's a good question. I do think it changes. I do think that we will throw the ball a little more, but don't think that like Joe Brady is gonna just abandon a run and we're gonna be empty sets throwing the ball all up. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be you're still gonna see a screen pass that everybody hates. Still gonna see that. You're still gonna see the quick passing to Shakir and trying to get the ball out of Josh's hands quick because you're paying these guys, like you're paying the skill position guys. Let them earn it. You know what I'm saying? We drafted Keon in the 2nd round, first pick of the 2nd round. Yo, get this kid the ball. You paying DJ Moore? Get DJ Moore the football. For sure. I think they're going to do that. Kincaid wants a contract. He definitely came back bigger and looked stronger. Get him the football. Let's see what you got. We extended Knox. Get him the football. Ray Davis wants more work. Get him the football. I am pro getting the football in the hands of the skill positions and not allowing Josh Allen to take multiple hits. Now, I'm pro that. I'm sure many of you are pro that. Josh is not pro that. Josh is pro, I'm holding on to the ball because I know I got this 7-yard gain, but I can probably get 35 yards on this scramble. So I can probably scramble and find a guy downfield. Like that's what Josh is on. Getting off the field on 3rd down is more beneficial to Josh and the wide receiver because he's going to score points regardless. Just ain't been able to get up. Well, that does make sense until you talk about Houston. And I get it. There were plays to be made. There were situations where, Josh, if you just take your time, if you just take the check down here, you live for another down and, probably so. If you just hit Mac Hollins, then we're good. Those are the plays. Yes. But I want to be able to dictate to the opponent how the game's going to be played. And I think when you don't have the talent base on the field, it's you kind of letting the defense kind of tell you how it's going to go. So, case in point, on 3rd down against on 3rd downs against like the Eagles or the Texans, and obviously I'm using like top flight teams, even the Jags to an extent. Like teams were not afraid to play man defense. They say we're just going to man you up, and because we don't believe in the receivers that you have that they can get open faster than we can get to your quarterback. Now, against the Texans, they were right. The Texans were right. The Jags, not so much. We was able to get the ball to the receivers. We was able to get the ball out before the pass rush got there. So what does that tell me? That tells me that obviously the Texans are better defensively than the Jags, but also tells me that we need to get more talent to combat the cornerback, the trio now with Petrie back healthy. But we need to get better at wide receiver in order to combat teams like the Texans or the Chiefs, now the Rams, like those teams that we're playing against. You got to be able to move the ball. Even the Patriots, we don't talk enough about the Patriots and their defense. Who is this guy? Where is he from? University of Virginia. Oh, he's surprised he got drafted. You going to the Rockets, so that's not good. You got to go out there and deal with Wimby, young man, and Joker. So good luck. But no, yeah, I don't know, bro. I mean, I think when you look at a team like the Patriots and what they have at corner, what they do defensively, like you want to have more, you want to have better darts to throw at the dartboard. I mean, we got enough. We have enough receivers. It's just not a great. It's not a great room from a productivity standpoint or perceived talent. Like right now, I don't think anybody looks at the Bills wide receiver room and says that's a top 10 group. Probably middle of the road at best, somewhere between 14 to 20 or 18. Because I think Shakir and DJ Moore definitely raised the room a bit. But nobody believes in Keon Coleman but me. Nobody believes in Joshua Palmer, me included. Like, I just don't. Shavers is hurt. I like Shavers a lot. He's hurt. Skylar Bell, I mean, I think he's a slot guy. I don't know if he can play on the outside. We have to see. But I just think he's a slot right now. I don't know. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about this? Just gotta get better, man. Gotta get better players. Other teams are doing it. Now, granted, the Patriots went out and they got AJ Brown and Romeo Doubs, and they still got Kayshon Boutte and Kyle Williams, and we can go on and on, bro. Pop Douglas, like they just got guys all over that roster, man. They got guys. The Rams have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. Oh, and by the way, like y'all don't know who he is, but Jordan Whittington is not a bad third option. He's not. Excellent run blocker in the slot. Can catch the football, runs solid routes. Like he's a good third receiver. They're able to do it. Why can't we? Would I mess with Boutte? Nah, man. Like, I mean, he's cool, but like he doesn't. To me, it's not enough of a needle mover to go and get him. It's just not to me. It's not. But if you look at the Texans, look who they got. Nico. They drafted that kid Jaden Higgins. They got Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson. Like they got guys over there, man. They got legit guys over there. Some real hoopers, man. Some real hoopers. Denver. Now, I mean, some of these teams are not paying their quarterbacks, so that is a valid argument. But let's talk about the Chargers. They're paying Herbert I mess with their room. I like their wide receiver room. The Lions are paying Golf. Golf ain't making pennies. Golf is making bread. They paid Jameson. They paid St. Brown. And those guys are really good. So what's the problem? What's our issue? I think it's a scouting issue. I don't know what we're looking at when it comes to these receivers. And I'm a big Keon fan, but if I was the GM and it came between like looking at the Bills roster and it was either Keon or A.D. Mitchell, I would have drafted A.D. Mitchell. Sorry. I would have took A.D. Mitchell and would have tried to maybe double back and get Keon and, later on in the third or something like that if he was still available. But I would have took A.D. Mitchell because A.D. Mitchell ran a 4.3, like 5 or something like that, and he's like 6'1". He does have some drop issues, but he can get up and get out there. And when he does, if that ball gets to him, if he does catch it, it's a touchdown. I'll take it. We can pepper underneath with Mac Hollins, and we could have peppered underneath with Mac Hollins and Khalil Shakir and all of that. That would have been just fine. Mitchell don't have hands. So what? He got to have some. They may not be the best, but he got to have some. And for them times that he does have them, those are touchdowns because he's getting out there. And honestly, man, sometimes Josh throw the ball so hard, the ball going to catch you. Josh be hitting these boys in the chest, man. The ball be catching them. So that's my spiel on that. I know people are talking about now. It's the last little topic. Because we did talk about AFC contenders. A couple teams I'm gonna bring up. I don't quite know what to think about them. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I know y'all want to say mid. Yeah. But that offensive line is not terrible. I like the running backs. They did lose Gainwell, was their most productive guy last year, but Caleb Johnson's going into year 2. They still got Jalen Warren. I think they drafted another kid too. The tight end room, I think it's good. Jonnu Smith, Freiermuth. They got an offensive tackle slash tight end. I mean, I don't know. Like wide receiver wise, DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr. They drafted Jeremy Bernard. Like they still got Roman Wilson coming in year 2. Like, he's gonna have an opportunity to be wide receiver 3 or 4. Bro, like these guys are gonna play, and I like that group. If they can keep Rodgers upright, why can't they compete? Why can't they win a playoff game finally after years? That defense is legit. Like I know TJ Watt's a little older and he's always banged up, but Cam Hayward's still playing at a high level. They still got Highsmith. They got who's the boy that they just extended? I can't remember his name right now, but like they got guys, man. Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson and linebacker. I like those guys. They got a really good defensive line, one of the best in the league. I like their linebacker pair. I think it's a good group, maybe top 10. And then their secondary, it's pretty good. Why can't the Steelers be good? Protect Aaron Rodgers. He's gonna make the right plays most of the time. Why can't they be good? I still like the Steelers. I still like the Steelers to compete. Indianapolis Colts. Why can't they be good? Why can't they compete? I like the defense. Sauce year 2 in the defense. Lou Anarumo's defensive coordinator. Like, usually this is when he starts cooking. Year 2, that defense is going to take a nice little jump. They still got Latu up front on the edge. Still got Buckner up front. Why can't they compete? Why can't they? Still good on offense. They obviously traded Pittman, but they re-signed Alec Pierce. They still have what's the old boy's name? Josh Downs, Tyler Warren, and they have the do-it-all running back, Jonathan Taylor. Daniel Jones has proven. I think Daniel Jones has proven to be a competent quarterback. He was good with them before he got hurt. Didn't have the greatest game. Like, he wasn't always good. He did have some stinkers, but for the most part, he's going to help you win enough. You're going to win enough games with Daniel Jones to qualify for the playoffs. And if you can run the football the way they can, why can't they compete? Why can't they win a playoff game? Why can't they push one of these top tier teams to the limit? Maybe win a game. Maybe win 2. Why not? Now, there's one team that I think is completely overrated. I think the conversation around this team completely changes based on certain things taking place differently. That is the Denver Broncos. I'm not a believer. I think they're frauds, bro. I've always thought they were frauds. They're frauds. I watched us in that wild card game against them go up and down the field, bro. I watched Mac Hollins go one-on-one with Patrick Surtain and stepped over top of him after making a big play down the field. Why is everybody so enamored with the Denver Broncos? Because the defense is highly rated. They're not particularly strong up front. I cannot believe we lost that game. Like that, the fact that we had 5 turnovers and lost that game by 3 points in overtime will not sit right with me. Just won't. But why is everybody so enamored with that team? You know? Nah, I really like this. These are real questions that I have. The offensive line is good. Don't get me wrong. Their running backs stink. I don't like their running backs. I don't think they're good. They keep saying that when J.K. Dobbins gets back, they're going to be something. I don't know, man. I got to see it. They haven't run the ball well for years. I like their receivers, though. Pat Bryant, Troy Murphy. Was it Troy Mitchell? What was his name? Troy Mitchell, right? I think it's Troy Mitchell, the wide receiver from Oregon. I have to look it up. I don't know. Obviously, Cortland Sutton. Marvin Mims Jr. I wanted Marvin Mims in Buffalo so bad, but they didn't take him. They said we already got a slot. And now Jalen Waddle. That's great. When I look at all of that, it's like, oh, you got Cortland Sutton, Pat Bryant. Now it's going to kill me. I have to find out. I want to say it's Troy. Hold on. Troy Franklin. What I call him? Troy Mitchell? Why y'all ain't help me out, man? Troy Franklin. They got him listed as 6'3". He is not 6'3", 180 pounds. He ain't 180 pounds either. Yeah, I got it, bro. Troy Franklin. Thank you, Albert. I like that, man. Like that wide receiver room, bro. Troy Franklin, Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton. And you throw in Jalen Waddle on top of that. Whoo. You got speed, athleticism, size, route runners, contested catch winners. You got all that. You still got Bo Nix at quarterback. And until further notice, he is a check down or a touchdown merchant. If he ain't chucking the ball downfield or a 50-50 type situation, he is taking the check down. And what pisses me off is that we lost to this team. And why did we lose to him? Some of y'all will blame this on McDermott, but Trey White had to start because Maxwell Harrison was hurt because he got hurt in a meaningless game against the Eagles a couple weeks earlier. So he didn't play. And we needed him. We definitely needed him. Think the game goes differently if he's there, especially defensively. First play of the game, the kickoff, we lose Dorian Williams for the rest of the game. But that actually, like, I feel like that game, that play, knocked Dorian Williams like out of this year too. Like I know he's coming back, but like he ain't been right since that hit. So why is Dorian Williams important for that game? Well, he's the quarterback spot. We used him a couple of times, especially against like the Patriots. We used him in that second game against the Patriots. Really worked out. Kept Drake May from really killing us. With his leg. I think he did have 2 like rushing touchdowns early in that game. So I mean maybe he didn't do it as well as I thought. I just thought second half we did a better job of keeping him in the pocket. Drake May, that is. But not having Dorian Williams changes what you do defensively. You've been spending all week preparing for this team, and Dorian Williams has a huge job. Keep Bo Nix in the pocket. If he gets out of the pocket, attack him. Make him make a decision quickly. We lose him, we lose that. We lost the spot. Where did Bo Nix? Obviously we did enough self-damage, but where did Bo Nix kill us? And it was like every time Bo Nix rolled down, it seemed like he was finding somebody for a first down, kept a drive going. Big play. That's our fault. McDermott's fault. It's all McDermott's fault, right? That's what we say now, right? But yeah, like that's the issue that I have. Like the conversation about Bo Nix is 100% different if Dorian Williams is playing in that game, because Dorian Williams does not allow Bo Nix to make as many plays by extending with his legs. He doesn't allow it. And that means we probably get off the field more often. We probably don't give up as many points. We probably win that game in regulation. And don't listen to any Broncos fan that tries to tell you that they knew that they were going to win. They're lying. They are lying. They did not believe that they were going to win that game until probably like the second half, like maybe like late second quarter. They were like, man, we might actually win this thing, man. We might actually get it done because Josh is terrible right now. Okay, this is the end of the second round. This is where all these NBA franchises start drafting guys that are never going to play in the NBA. They just control their rights and they use them as trade pieces later. These dudes are not. It's rare that they come over and play and actually play NBA basketball, but whatever. I think we're done. I think the Celtics are done. I like our draft. We're good. But conversation around Bo Nix is different. You know, Dorian Williams is there. If that happens, you know, we win that game, we go to Foxborough to play a snow game. I like us in that. But, you know, whatever. New York Giant football dad, man. New York football Giant dad. Let me get your comment up here, man. Totally agree with you with Indy. Yeah, man. I like Indy. I actually just I like Daniel Jones, man. I think Daniel Jones gets a bad rep for how terrible the Giants were when he was there. Some of it was his fault. Some of it was. But, you know, you can't help where you get drafted. I just think that the expectations for him based on where he was drafted were unrealistic. That kid's like Brian Tannehill Part 2, man. He's that kind of player. Probably a little bit better. I think he's probably a little bit better than Tannehill, but that's essentially what he is. But yeah, I'm not a believer in the Denver Broncos. I know I had them like top 10 in my rankings, but a lot of that's based off of just on paper. I don't think that they're going to win their division next year or this upcoming season. I think they'll be fighting for a wild card. And I think there's a good chance they miss the playoffs. I think there's a good chance the Broncos are one of the teams that misses the playoffs this year. That made it last year. People think it's the Jags, bro. I don't think it's the Jags. I think the Jags are still good. And I think, you know, Liam Cole with another year of that offense, I think they're going to be cooking. But I think the Broncos are due for a little slide, man. A little slide. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe it's us. Maybe we slide. Maybe it's the Bills. Maybe the Bills end up not performing as well as probably, you know, we think that they should. You know, I don't know. Who do you have winning the AFC South? I mean, I feel like it's the Texans, but I'm so down on CJ Stroud. Like, that's another thing. Like, CJ Stroud got anointed so quick. And the issues that I saw from him coming into the draft are still there. They're still there. He's not really that great of a processor. Quarterbacks from Ohio State, at least when Brian Hartline was there as the wide receiver coach. Yeah. So quarterbacks from Ohio State, man, over the first, you know, while Hartline was there, like he was just throwing to a lot of wide open receivers, man. That's it. Those guys will get wide open. Listen to the guys that CJ Stroud was throwing to. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Emeka Ibuka, and I think Carnell Tate was on the team, but he just wasn't playing because he was young, like a rookie or whatever, or rookie. I mean, freshman. Like, those are the guys he was throwing to, man. All them guys are first-round picks. They're all first-round wide receivers, every single one of them. Were you really reading? Do you really have the ability to read the defense? Or are you just the benefit of having really good receivers? Feels like it's the latter. And why does it feel like that? Because he made mistakes in year one and defenses dropped the football. They didn't punish him for it. But year 2, year 3, CJ Stroud getting punished because they catching those interceptions now. They're not knocking them down. They're not surprised that they're coming. They're looking for them. And they are catching those interceptions. That's also why I'm confident I think we go in there and win week 1. But that's another story for another time. And we win those first 2 games by more than 7, I'm gonna get way too confident. Not me. Not me. I'm really concerned with how the defense looks. Oh, I didn't even answer this question. My bad, brother. My bad, man. Who I have winning the South? I want to say the Jags, but like if you look at who the Jags beat last year at the end of the year to make that nice little run, they ain't play nobody, man. Like it really wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't a tough back half of the schedule for them. So yeah, give me the Texans. I can see the Colts winning it. I can see the Jags winning it. I really could see any of those teams winning that division, but it's not gonna happen. It's one of them teams. One of them. We'll see. We'll see which one it is. But what's the 4th team in the South? It's the Colts, the Jags, the Texans, and the Colts, Jags, Texans. Colts, Jags, Texans, and AFC South. Yeah. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. I'm probably sleepy. Yeah, the Titans. They stink. They I don't think they're gonna be good. Not right. Not yet. I do like the direction they're going though. Robert Saleh, I think, is a good coach. Brian Dable as an offensive coordinator for a young quarterback makes a lot of sense. Yeah, like I like some of the pieces that they have. So they're headed in the right direction. But yeah, 100%, man. Give me the Texans to win that division, just based on I don't know what these other guys are going to look like. So give me them guys, man. Give me them. Now, I do have the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. And if this defense looks the way I think it's going to look, the way I envision it looking, Bills are going to win a lot of games. I'm not ready to jump out the window yet with my prediction, but that's where we at, man. I didn't mention anything about the Chiefs either, but I think the Chiefs will be back. Omar Norman Lott with Chris Jones, and then they drafted Peter Woods. Then you get Mansfield Delane at corner. You already had Noah Williams. And they drafted my guy out of Oregon, Jaden Kennedy. Played the slot. They cooking, man. They're gonna be cooking. And let's see what Spags can do. Spags develops these young corners very, very well. Let's see what happens. I think it's gonna be fun. Chiefs game, Chiefs Bills, things like week 11. It's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Um, but with that being said, folks, it's getting late. I'm not gonna sing, but that's a Floetry song from some of my older heads. Um, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. I know like today wasn't really Bills centered, but and it's the off season. Training camp is like right around the corner. Them young boys about to report. I think what they report like the first week of June or something like that. So it's like right around the corner. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Before you know it, the games will be counting, and I don't know. We'll be at the necks of, we'll be knee deep on the timeline and on Twitter beefing with Ravens and Bengals and just whoever. Y'all know how it go. But I appreciate everybody coming through. We will be back next week. I will definitely be back next week. Unless I got to work. Unless I got to work. Because everything after 5 p.m. at my job is overtime, period. It don't matter if you ain't do nothing else all week. You show up for your orders, and it's after 5 o'clock, it's overtime pay. So I'm going to be there. That's it. I'm going to be there for that. But anyway, man, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out for continuing to support Bills Mafia, man. Let's go. We'll tap in next week with injury stuff. If any trades take place, rumor mill, and I think I'm gonna get a guest. I think I'm gonna get my man Andy. I'm trying to reach out to him from the Detroit. He's a Detroit fan. See if he can come on a few times over the next couple of weeks, man. I enjoy talking to him about football, and we want to talk about the Lions anyway because we played them in our home opener. I think that's gonna be big. I'd love for that to be a preview of the Super Bowl. Yeah, Lions fans, man, I mess with y'all, bro. Shout out to Zay. What up, though? Everybody, man, have a good night. Go Bills. We will be back next week, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Hopefully, Beyond will be able to join me. If not, it'll just be me and my Bills hat and my Coast to Coast shirt. That's it. I actually like this design. How do y'all feel about the design? Let me know in the chat. Like, y'all like the design of the shirt? Oh, Mark, I gotta send you a shirt too, bro. I looked over. I have it rolled up in my living room. Like, I just gotta get your information, dog. So I'll reach out to you, man, and I'll send it over to you. But yeah, man, appreciate that, man. Listen, I paid a graphic designer to come up with this, so it's my vision. But they definitely put that up. They definitely put that together for me. So shout out to my graphic designer. I was going to say shout out to my GD, but I don't want to get in no trouble. If you know. All right. Y'all have a good night. Go Bills. We'll do this again next week. We'll do something a little different. I will reach out and try to get a guest. I'm hoping to get Andy from he's a Detroit fan, and we're gonna chop it up, man. What can I say, man? Celtics had a great draft. Angel Reese is out playing Caitlin Clark. Everything's right now in the world, guys. It really is. Shout out to the world, man. Everything's good. Do good, be good, and go Bills. You right. That's the way we ended off, Mike. Appreciate you, man. Shout out to y'all, man. We done. Go Bills.